Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the 6 a.m. Club, your dose of morning inspiration to kickstart a fabulous weekend ahead. I'm your host, Carolina de Arriba. If this is the first time that you're joining a 6 a.m. episode, I am so thrilled that you're here as we delve into the wisdom behind the quote of the week, the one that I picked today that I'm sure is going to set the tone for your day. But before we dive in, how about we just take a deep breath and just savor this moment? I feel like it's like we're sitting across each other, sharing a warm cup of coffee, ready to dig into some insightful thoughts. So here's our quote for today. It's quite a gem, and it says, "Goals are for people who care about winning once. Systems are for people who care about winning repeatedly." This quote is from James Clear, and you can find it in his book, Atomic Habits, which, by the way, it's among the top 5 books on my list of books that you absolutely have to read. So let's break down this quote. Let's talk about goals. Goals are fantastic, right? They give us direction, something to aim for, and they can create this accelerating feeling of victory when we achieve them. But what happens next? The finish line is crossed, the confetti falls, and then what? It's like that moment when you have climbed the mountain, right? It's breathtaking. But you can't stay up there forever. Now, imagine a different approach, a system-oriented mindset. Picture yourself not just conquering one peak, but it's steadily hiking through the entire range. That's what a system does. It's your trusty hiking gear, your map, your companion on the journey. It's about continuously improving, growing, and winning over and over again. I think that James Clear was onto something here. He reminds us that success is not a one-hit wonder, right? It's a symphony of well-orchestrated habits and routines. It's about embracing the journey, finding joy in the process, and ensuring that victory becomes a recurrent theme in our lives. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and think about, how does this apply to your life, to our lives? It could be that personal project that you've been hesitating to start. Or maybe is that fitness goal that you always put on your New Year's list and never get to it. Or a relationship that you're building. What if we could shift our focus from just nailing the endpoint to building a sustainable, efficient, and rewarding system that carries us through? That's why I love habits and routines so much. When people ask me, how is that I have been doing this podcast for 4 years at the same time that I have a full-time job and I'm a mom of 2 and I have all other kinds of different projects and things that I'm involving. And it all comes down to, I have routines and I have habits that make this an ongoing journey. Not just a destination, but a journey. Yes, of course, I have goals in all areas of my life. I love goals. I love setting goals. I like setting smarter goals. I have vision boards, and I have annual goals, and I have quarterly goals, and I have monthly goals, and I have weekly goals. I love goals because, as I said before, goals give me direction. They give me something to aim for. And it's really fun to celebrate once you have crossed a goal of your list, which I have to say, these days, I'm very excited because I'm about to cross one big goal that I had for this year off my list. But more to come on that. Actually, that will be revealed on our Thrive conference next September 8th. And I can't stop talking about the Thrive conference. If you've been listening to the podcast lately, you have been hearing me talk about this. And I want to say it one more time. You are invited. You're welcome to join us to the Thrive conference next September 8th. It's going to be great. It's a full day conference under the theme of design, build, and drive your career. And during the conference, which is free, by the way, and you can grab your free ticket on the show notes of this podcast episode. But on the event, I am going to be sharing with you a goal that I am achieving like right now that I'm super excited about and I can't wait to share with you. But back to today's topic. I love goals. And I encourage everyone to set goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals. Goals play a role. A very important role. But if we want to win repeatedly, as James Clear suggests in the quote, we need to build systems. We need to build rituals and habits. Those are the key for sustainably winning over and over again. So here's your gentle nudge for today. Your call to action, if you will. We like to always have a call to action in the 6 a.m. episodes. I want to invite you to take a few minutes today and reflect on one area of your life where you could transition from a goal-oriented approach to a system-oriented one. How can you infuse consistency and intention? And why not a dash of enthusiasm into that process? Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. And together, we're going to master the art of creating systems that lead to those repeated victories. Because this might be, I don't know, a topic that we're going to go deeper into here on the podcast. Not on Saturday episodes and the 6 a.m. short episodes, but on the Monday episodes of the podcast. So stay tuned, because this might be a topic coming up your way. If you're interested, if you're saying, oh, that makes total sense, but how do I go about building those rituals and those habits and those systems? I got your back. We're going to talk about that soon. I mentioned at the beginning of today's episodes that I was imagining you and I sitting on a coffee shop, having a cup of coffee. So let's raise our coffee mugs or your wine glasses, if that is your thing, to embrace this journey of crafting systems that nurture success and to live a life that is filled of remarkable stories and countless wins. Thank you so much for joining me today on another episode of the 6 a.m. Club. Remember, your mornings set the tone for the day ahead. So go out and make it an amazing one. And remember, I will talk to you again next Monday for another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. Until next time, my friends, cheers for a great day and a great weekend ahead.